You know what's wild? We have men out here who are setting boundaries. They are protecting their peace. They are refusing disrespect, and now women are calling that sassy. We say we want emotionally intelligent men. We say we want men who communicate, who know their worth, who don't lean on us for everything, who man up. But the moment he doesn't tolerate your dysfunction, you label him. Let's be honest, that word sassy is just modern day shaming. It's what I call emotional slavery. It's how our culture punishes our men for having standards. It's as if you're trying to guilt them back into silence, into people pleasing, into tolerating what's toxic. When we use those words, we tear men down for showing self-control. Like, that is just backwards. We're not just breaking a man down, we're literally breaking down our culture, which has been broken far enough, deep enough, and long enough. So let's stop with the name calling. Let's stop calling healed behavior sassy just because it does not cater to your comfort. Let's celebrate men who have standards, ladies, who have emotional boundaries, who know when to walk away, and who know how to say, that's not how I'm going to be spoken to. That's not how I'm going to be treated. And if y'all call that sassy, then my message to my brothers, keep being sassy.
I don't know about that last part. But fellas, the sister here is absolutely spitting. She is telling us something that we've known this whole time, but maybe a lot of us never took the time out or even wanted to articulate the point because it was so ridiculous. The phenomenon of women calling men sassy. And just in case you all haven't heard this or you've been lucky enough to avoid these type of women online and elsewhere, let me bring you up to speed a little bit.
A man told me one time, well, what you gonna do for me? I said, huh? He told myself, well, what you gonna do for me? I said, I'm about to go find you a motherfucking boyfriend, nigga. A man told me one time, well, what you gonna do for me?
So now even asking for the least amount of effort from a lady, like it didn't sound like he was really asking for too much, for actually knowing his value and stepping forth. Now she's going to go find him a man. It's ridiculous. And don't let him do that either. As much as these women say they love homosexuals, that's the first thing they go to when they want to criticize you or when they run out of logic to actually fight back against what you're saying, the point that you're making. They'll be dead wrong. But now all of a sudden you sassy.
This how I know that the niggas is turning into us. So this nigga been trying to get up with me for about a week, right? As you can see, fresh nail set, nails and feet. I'm like, I'm gonna put him to the test real quick. The man telling me everything he wanna do to me. I'm gonna tear you up. So I'm like, okay. I need my nails and feet done. The bitch text back and say, me too.
So men can't take care of their fingernails and their nails or their toenails. Come on now, this is ridiculous. So now he's sassy. He's sassy because you want him to pay for your nails. He's like, I'll do you one better. How about you pay for me? This is about knowing your value. I mean, I don't get my nails done on a regular basis. I'm saying there's not anything wrong with that. See, we've gotten so used to this warped perception of how men are supposed to act, how men are supposed to bend over backwards and send you Apple Pays the moment they meet you, that now you've gotten so comfortable, you got up here eating Cheetos, eating flaming hot Cheetos, eating Cheetos, talking trash about how men are sassy.
Black men seem to be getting very sassy, and I'm not liking it. Sometimes I notice if I'm looking at shade room comments, or if I myself am arguing or I'm getting shady comments on my things that I post on social media, it's usually coming from a black man.
And one thing we learned is that our women are quick to throw us under the bus. Now, every time there's something that they don't like that men in general probably do, because I tell you, her experience with other cultures of men is obviously very limited. Because you think you're just going to go mouth off to a white man or Indian man or Hispanic man. You might be lucky if you come out without them going upside your head. You should be thanking God that you're dealing with black men, because black men have been the most accepting of all body types, all shapes, all colors, all hair lengths. She got a short haircut. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not understanding.
It's usually coming from a black man in the shade room comments, blog comments, where it's just like, if a woman is doing something.
So obviously she's never been on Reddit.
Where it's just like, if a woman is doing something.
Chin up, chest out. Look, you'll be all right. Sassy man assemble. Just kidding, but you're taking an anecdotal experience based off the cesspool and toxic waste dump site of the shade room comment section and making it a generalization against all men. It's crazy to me that the internet is not real, but it's so real to some people that the real world doesn't seem real to them. Get outside and touch grass, because people are not having these conversations outside of the internet. It's like the movie The Matrix, all over again, playing out in real time. And all I take from everybody saying men are sassy is that women just don't like being disagreed with. If you disagree with a woman, you're sassy. Period.
Bingo. That is 100% the reason. They don't like being disagreed with, and they don't have the logic to fight themselves out of wet paper bag. So they throw terms around like sassy. And back to our lady here, this beautiful lady here, she will be, I guarantee you, in the comments of this video, there are women that are arguing that she is somehow male identified. Folks, when you hear these buzzwords, sassy, male identified, these are people who cannot argue with your logic. These are people who don't have a leg to stand on. They've really gotten to a place where they don't want to talk anymore because they can't intellectualize a man having any thoughts outside of their perceived notion of what a man is. If you ask a woman what a real man is, she's going to describe to you an alien from outside this planet, Superman. If you want her to talk about the idealized version of her grandfather that she talks about, why aren't men today like my grandfather's time? Well, today, because your grandfather and them would have went upside your head. I'm just being honest. You don't have to deal with that. Well, by large. Of course, there are some exceptions. They weren't listening to no mouth. So when you get angry and you want to argue and your man wants to argue back, that's not him being sassy. That's actually him restraining himself. Two men having that same conversation, it will go a lot differently.
These are my list that I think that make men sassy. If you got long ass hair, you wear your hair in a ponytail, you sassy. If you say things like you tried it, period, girl, bye, are you done, are you finished, you sassy.
You can't even
if
say,
you clap your hands when you arguing and shake your head, you sassy. If you argue with a girl, go back and forth with a girl, you sassy.
So now you're supposed to sit there and just take the argument. Now, I know that is traditionally what men do. A lot of men, including myself, I will not lower myself to argue with certain people if I realize they're not an intellectual equal, if I realize that they're emotional in the moment. But now, anytime you argue with this woman here, she's saying that you are sassy. That's crazy. Now, some of the other stuff I probably agree with, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be saying period and shit like that. You really shouldn't do it. Come on now.
If you come before me, you sassy. If you got a little penis, you sassy.
Now something you can't even help. Your joint you were born with that you cannot change except for in very severe surgical situations. Now she's saying that makes you sassy. And meanwhile, she's still smashing you. You wasn't sassy enough not to get the, Yo, they are ridiculous with these requirements and these lists.
If you sit down and pee, you sassy.
I agree with that.
If you got long nails, you sassy. If you wear tight clothes, skinny jeans, stuff like that, you sassy. If you flip your hair, you definitely sassy. If you got baby hair, you sassy. If your booty bigger than mine, cause some of y'all be in that gym, you sassy. Man. What else?
Well, maybe you just got a small ass. That you ever think about that? You might want to look into some surgery if you have issues.
What else?
Men be so sassy. This new generation of men that want to be treated like women is crazy to me. To all my women who feel like this, let me ask you a quick question. What happens when your son brings home a woman who thinks that way? Are you still going to have that same mentality? The majority of men who are just asking for women to reciprocate the time, the effort, the thought. I'm not talking about the and ain't Anthony. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the good men who deserve all these things. Y'all calling them sassy when all old boy is asking you to do is to be a good human being? Be an equal partner in a relationship? What is this? If you're not trying to spend $300 on the first date, what are you even trying to date me for? What are you going to do when your son brings this type of woman home? Do we still have these same
I like how she did that reversal, but I can't lie, y'all. This just triggered me a little bit. I'm going to be a little candid. I'm going to be a little open about my own situation. I met this girl, nice girl, attractive girl, nice body, pretty, she was kind of dressed down, you know what I mean? I don't know what she looked like when she was completely dressed up, but I just knew there was potential there. You know what I mean, right? She actually, we had the nice conversation. We saw each other several times back to back. We exchanged numbers. We talked about going on a first date. And when I texted her, hey, it was nice meeting you, she texted back, can I ask you a question? And I said, uh-oh. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I'm looking forward to our date, but I need half of my hair done and my clothes that I'm going to wear for the date night. That's going to come to about $200. Can you Apple Pay that to me? Nigga, what? Who you talking to? I'm sitting here in the text message I'm like, wait. I was like, you funny. I was like, when is this date going to happen? She's like, I'm for real, and I can go on Saturday. Like there was a little break in between there, but then she comes back with, I'm for real. We can go on Saturday. And I said, who you been listening to online that's giving you this bad advice? Because I'm like, of all people, you talking to me about this? You talking to me about this? You talking to me? Who? You talking to me? I said, it's Monday. I said, why we wait until Saturday anyway? And why would I give you $200 for a first date and I don't even know you? She blows right past that question and asks, no. The hair appointment is on Thursday. The date is Saturday. So there's no openings on Friday or Saturday, only Wednesday and Thursday. So she's scheduling me now. She's going to schedule me on what the hell to do. And I was like, well, I never been in this position. I don't have to pay. I normally don't have to pay for anything. You should be paying me, motherfucker. I was like, hey, $200? I was like, well, you want 200 of my dollars, that's going to come with some conditions, some terms and conditions. If you want my $200, it's going to come with some terms and conditions. She said, no conditions. I don't get down like that. Have a nice day. I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? Now you're prude. Now you don't get down like that, but you just asked a perfect stranger for $200 to get your hair done and your nails done and whatever the clothes you wanted. That's crazy to me. Now, I'm not above giving some money to a girl that I'm actually in a relationship with, but I just met you. So I hit her back with, you asking for money though. That's a different kind of relationship. I had to teach her in this moment. I said, I'm very generous, but I've never had to pay. Now, I'm not going to start today. Now, I'm not used to grown women dry begging off the top. And that's the world we in right now. Now, would I be considered sassy for standing my ground and realizing that, hey, I don't have to pay for it? I've never had to pay for a first date to get you ready. We're in a whole nother matrix now.
Your son brings this type of woman home. Do we still have these same thought processes? When my son is out here in the world looking for a woman, I want him to choose a woman who's like, yo.
And do you notice the women with sons actually have the best perspective on this stuff? Like, because they know what their sons are going to have to go through with this crop of women. The women with sons are the ones that are like, hey, you ain't doing that to my kid. You're not doing that to my son. I don't care what you do to these other YNs, but you're not doing that to my son. And that's the only time they get it. That's one of the few times they get it. How much you want to bet that first lady had a son and realized what her son is dealing with?
I value you. I appreciate you. You had a hard day at work? Tell me about it. You want a specific meal? Let me make it for you because you've been providing for me in all these other ways. Let me show you my appreciation. If he brings home a woman who isn't able to do that, I don't like her.
There's one last video that I think sums it all up.
You so used to treating niggas one way, you think every nigga go for what the whole ass nigga go for. You meet a real nigga now, he be like, I ain't never called that hoe ever again. He sassy. Cause he don't go for that. Don't talk to me like that and don't talk to you no more for real. See you out like.
You know what?
He sassy though, but he real nigga.
Because he know what he wants.
He know what he ain't going for.
He know his word. He know what he deserves.
But what is he?
Yeah.
In this day and time.
And that is what I'm a very honest woman. We gonna call him sassy.
Because he like, I ain't dealing with that. But you used to a nigga like, what, babe? Like, woo. First time you told you, hey, babe, I don't like when you raise your voice. You raise it again, then nigga ain't talk to you no more.
We gonna find
He a fuck nigga now.
We gonna find all kinds of excuses. We gonna say all kind of stuff on, but the man was just standing on business.
Thank you. That's not respected in 2024. These niggas been going for this all this time, and I meet a real nigga, I don't even know what that look like, so I don't even know how to treat it.
I'm definitely gonna feel like I deserve another chance.
How?
He is.
How?
You don't get another chance. Once you mess that up, it's curtains. He's doing you a favor if he comes back around and y'all just happen to run into each other again, because when a man is on his purpose, when a man understands what he's doing and he's focused, he doesn't have time for distractions in the same way. So like our first lady said,
wow, we have men out here who are setting boundaries. They are protecting their peace. They are refusing disrespect. And now women are calling that sassy.
Ladies, you have to respect our boundaries. We are trying to be in a place of peace. I'm telling you, we probably are one of the, if not the most mentally healthy group of men, especially black men, that have ever existed in this world. We've evolved in ways that you asked us to evolve in, and yet and still you want the same results. You want a traditional man while still maintaining your independence and your modernity, being a modern woman, and you're not giving much in exchange for that. It's an uneven balance here. And I see a lot of fellas that are withdrawing. They're allowing you all to come to them because honestly, in this marketplace, in this sexual dating marketplace, that is the best way, fellas. Fall back. Fall back because they're starting to get the message now. They're starting to feel the squeeze and they're like, why these dudes ain't out here at the club popping bottles with us? Why are these dudes? Where are the good dudes at? They can't find them. Because they've been ignoring them so much because they're so off on what they're doing. This is egomania. This is them being stuck in modernity. This is them being stuck in the now. But you will know when the woman comes along that actually caters to you, that actually cares about you, that actually respects you for something more than your money, right? Because I'm about tired of this conversation about how much money you have to make or how much money you have to spend for what? For a below average, low effort woman who you wouldn't even want to make the mother of your children, for a world of problems. We got to start being honest. We got to start being honest about how they measure up instead of just accepting the bare minimum. But y'all don't hear me though. Maybe I'm just being sassy. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.